love the Eagles as much as we do, then hit that subscribe button and stick with us at Eagles Nest News for all the drama, updates, and hype all season long. The Philadelphia Eagles have just sent shockwaves through the NFL world, and fans everywhere are losing their minds as the news drops that Aaron Donald, the defensive titan whom many thought was on the verge of hanging up his cleats, has officially decided to return to the league, not just to play, but to redefine what it means to dominate on defense. The rumor mill has been spinning for weeks, and insiders have been teasing that a mega deal was on the horizon, but no one expected it to materialize this fast or in such a spectacular fashion, with the Eagles reportedly offering a contract so monumental that it could change the landscape of defensive salaries forever. Analysts and commentators are scrambling to calculate the implications, and social media is ablaze with speculation, excitement, and even disbelief, as fans of rival teams simultaneously panic and marvel at the prospect of facing a reinvigorated Aaron Donald lining up across from their offensive lines. The timing of the announcement is also critical, coming just as teams are gearing up for free agency negotiations and draft strategies, throwing every defensive coordinator into a frenzy as they attempt to anticipate how this acquisition will shift the balance of power in the NFC. The Eagles' front office, already considered one of the most aggressive in terms of player acquisitions, seems to have executed a masterstroke, combining financial ingenuity with the lure of championship aspirations, creating a perfect storm that has left pundits debating whether any team can realistically compete with Philadelphia's defensive firepower next season. Rumors also suggest that Donald's personal considerations, including family ties, legacy ambitions, and the desire to be part of a team on the cusp of greatness, played a crucial role in persuading him to come back, proving that sometimes the human element in sports can outweigh even the most lucrative financial incentives. As the news spreads, ticket sales, merchandise, and social media engagement for the Eagles are expected to skyrocket, and the entire league is bracing itself for the seismic shift that Aaron Donald's return is certain to create, igniting a debate that will dominate sports talk shows, podcasts, and fan forums for months to come. The reaction from a locker room has been just as electric as the public response, with players reportedly celebrating behind closed doors while coaches strategize how to integrate one of the most dominant defensive players of the modern era into a system that already boasts elite talent. Sources close to the team have hinted at secret meetings between Donald and head coach Nick Sirianni, where philosophies were exchanged, plans were outlined, and an understanding was reached that promises to elevate the Eagles' defensive schemes to unprecedented levels. Observers suggest that this move is about more than just individual talent. It is a strategic chess play designed to send a message across the league that Philadelphia is not merely participating in the NFC battles. They intend to dictate them. Analysts have started revising power rankings and playoff predictions, factoring in Donald's potential influence on sacks, tackles for loss, quarterback pressures, and overall defensive morale, arguing that his presence alone could tilt close games in favor of the Eagles, turning marginal plays into game-changing moments that could define seasons. Social media platforms are exploding with fan reactions, memes, and debates, with some proclaiming that this is the steal of the decade, while others question how long such a physically demanding position can sustain peak performance at Donald's age, injecting both optimism and skepticism into the conversation. Betting markets are also being affected, as oddsmakers scramble to recalibrate Super Bowl odds and divisional predictions, reflecting the immediate impact of Donald's return on the perception of Philadelphia as a championship contender. The narrative around the Eagles is evolving rapidly, transforming from strong contender with potential into a team with a statement piece, a defensive monster who embodies both fear and inspiration, and insiders whisper that locker room chemistry, mentorship for younger players, and even off-field leadership were key negotiating points, indicating that Donald's impact will resonate far beyond the stat sheet. The sheer drama of a superstar who considered retirement stepping back into the spotlight and into a team poised for greatness has created a perfect storm of anticipation, speculation, and raw excitement, cementing this moment as one of the most talked-about stories of the NFL offseason and leaving fans counting down the days until they can see the combined force of Aaron Donald and the Eagles' defense in action. Sources close to the negotiations described the process as a whirlwind of phone calls, private dinners, and intense contract discussions, highlighting the sophistication and creativity employed by the Eagles management to secure a deal that satisfies both financial expectations and legacy ambitions. The terms of the agreement, while not officially disclosed, are rumored to include performance incentives, leadership bonuses, and clauses that could make this one of the most lucrative defensive contracts in NFL history, signaling that Philadelphia is willing to invest heavily not just in wins, but in establishing a culture of dominance. League insiders suggest that rival teams, upon hearing the news, were caught off guard, with some front offices reportedly questioning whether they could have countered the move or even prepared contingency plans for a scenario where Donald remained on the market. The speculation has also ignited debates among former players and coaches who dissect every possible strategic advantage the Eagles now possess, from pass rush schemes to run defense adjustments, arguing that Donald's skill set allows for more aggressive coverage, faster rotations, and the freedom to experiment with innovative defensive formations. Fans are already imagining highlight reels filled with quarterback sacks, tackle-after-tackle sequences, and game-changing defensive plays, painting a picture of a season where the Eagles' defense becomes both feared and revered across the league. Media coverage is intensifying, with commentators weighing in on the psychological impact of such a high-profile addition, suggesting that opponents may feel a sense of inevitability when facing a team anchored by a player of Donald's caliber, thus influencing game plans, draft strategies, and even preseason preparations. The buzz surrounding this development underscores a larger narrative about player empowerment, team vision, and the intersection of talent and opportunity, highlighting how one monumental decision can reshape expectations and fuel endless conversation about what it takes to build a truly dominant NFL squad capable of competing for championships year after year. Whispers of Donald's potential impact on the Eagles' locker room culture have also sparked curiosity and speculation, as insiders hint at the veteran defensive end playing a key role in mentoring younger teammates, elevating practice intensity, and instilling a championship mindset throughout the roster. Analysts argue that the psychological effect of having a player with multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards and a reputation for relentless pursuit of excellence can transform not just on-field performance, but the collective mentality of the team, fostering confidence and cohesion that translates into critical game situations. Reports indicate that Donald has already engaged in discussions with secondary leaders, linebackers, and defensive coordinators, sharing insights, techniques, and motivational guidance that could accelerate the development of emerging talent, creating a ripple effect that strengthens the Eagles' defense in a holistic way. This type of influence, combined with his physical prowess, is expected to make Philadelphia not only a formidable opponent in individual matchups, but also a strategic nightmare for opposing offenses, forcing quarterbacks and offensive coordinators to rethink game plans entirely. Betting odds, fan forums, and social media chatter are increasingly focused on how Donald's return will affect divisional standings, playoff projections, and even MVP considerations for defensive players, with speculation suggesting that his presence may indirectly elevate teammates to award-worthy performances. Meanwhile, rival teams are reportedly re-evaluating roster priorities, defensive draft strategies, and free agent acquisitions, recognizing that competing against an Aaron Donald-led Eagles unit requires significant tactical adjustments, both in personnel and play calling. As the excitement builds, the narrative surrounding the Eagles is evolving into a story of ambition, dominance, and audacity, painting a picture of a franchise willing to take bold risks to secure greatness. With Aaron Donald at the center of this transformational moment, poised to redefine expectations, inspire teammates, and electrify fans with a level of defensive excellence rarely witnessed in the modern NFL era. Reports from inside the league also emphasize the meticulous planning and negotiation strategy employed by the Eagles, who appear to have aligned every element, from salary cap management to long-term team vision, to present an irresistible proposition to Aaron Donald, blending financial incentive with a promise of championship contention. Observers note that such precision suggests a franchise not only focused on immediate impact, but also on sustainable success, indicating that Donald's acquisition may serve as the cornerstone of a defensive dynasty rather than a fleeting superstar moment. Insiders speculate that the discussions involved nuanced considerations about team culture, media engagement, leadership roles, and even philanthropic alignment, highlighting that the decision-making process extended far beyond the X's and O's of football and into areas that speak directly to Donald's personal values and long-term legacy ambitions. Fans, analysts, and commentators are drawing comparisons to past blockbuster moves in NFL history, debating whether this acquisition ranks among the most significant defensive signings ever and what ripple effects it will have on free agency trends, positional valuations, and future negotiation strategies across the league. The sheer scope of speculation has fueled endless online debates, video essays, podcasts, and live streams dissecting every potential outcome, from statistical projections to Super Bowl scenarios, reinforcing the idea that this isn't just a signing. It's a cultural and strategic moment that will dominate NFL discourse for the foreseeable future. Meanwhile, coaches across the league are reportedly recalibrating game plans and defensive schematics, acknowledging that facing a rejuvenated Aaron Donald will require both creativity and precision, as traditional blocking schemes and offensive strategies may no longer suffice against an athlete of his skill, determination, and experience. This confluence of excitement, strategy, and speculation has created a narrative that transcends mere news, positioning the Eagles as the epicenter of NFL conversation and Aaron Donald as a catalyst for a defensive renaissance poised to captivate fans and pundits alike, making every snap, tackle, and sack a story in itself. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The anticipation surrounding Donald's debut in Philadelphia has ignited a frenzy in merchandise sales, ticket demand, and social media engagement, suggesting that the financial and cultural impact of this signing may rival the on-field contributions he is expected to make. Fans are eagerly speculating about his jersey number, potential signature moves, and how he will mesh with the existing defensive stalwarts, generating viral content, memes, and discussions across platforms that range from Twitter threads to TikTok highlight compilations. Analysts are already projecting statistical milestones, such as sack totals, quarterback pressures, and defensive win shares, emphasizing that his influence could recalibrate how defensive performance is measured and valued league-wide. Coaches are reportedly preparing special plays and packages designed to maximize his presence, experimenting with alignment, blitz schemes, and rotational strategies that leverage both his raw talent and football intelligence, while opponents are scrambling to anticipate and counter these adjustments. Media outlets are devoting entire segments to breaking down every angle of the acquisition, with insider commentary offering speculative insights into contract structure, potential endorsements, and even future Hall of Fame implications, further amplifying the sense of urgency and significance surrounding the move. This surge of attention underscores the multifaceted impact of Donald's return, which extends beyond the field into fan culture, league economics, and the strategic calculus of every team in the NFL. In essence, Aaron Donald's decision to rejoin the league, and specifically to join the Eagles, represents a seismic shift that intertwines performance, prestige, and possibility, promising a season of unparalleled intrigue, electrifying highlights, and endless debates about legacy, talent, and the art of defensive dominance in professional football. Rumors swirling among insiders suggest that Donald's influence may even extend into off-season training regimens, preseason planning, and locker room leadership, with teammates looking to emulate his work ethic, preparation routines, and competitive intensity. Observers note that his presence could elevate practice standards across the board, encouraging younger players to adopt habits, techniques, and mental approaches that enhance their performance. potentially transforming the Eagles into a model organization in terms of both culture and results. Sports psychologists and performance analysts speculate that the mere aura of having a multi-award-winning defensive player on the roster can instill confidence and resilience, affecting outcomes in high-pressure situations and creating intangible advantages that are difficult to quantify statistically but palpable on the field. Meanwhile, rival franchises are reportedly assessing how to counteract the anticipated dominance, with coaches examining film, defensive tendencies, and personnel matchups in an effort to anticipate the full spectrum of Donald's impact. Betting odds, fantasy football projections, and media coverage are rapidly evolving, reflecting the anticipation of not only wins and losses, but also highlight reel plays and game-changing moments that could redefine defensive metrics. Fans, eager for even the smallest hint of insider knowledge, are dissecting every social media post, press conference, and training camp report for clues about Donald's readiness, conditioning, and integration into the Eagles system, fueling a nonstop cycle of excitement, analysis, and speculation. The convergence of these factors has created a narrative that goes beyond the typical signing, transforming Aaron Donald's return into a phenomenon that blends athletic brilliance, strategic foresight, and cultural significance, promising a season of unprecedented attention, debate, and defensive fireworks that will captivate the NFL world and cement Philadelphia's place at the epicenter of football conversation. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.